We need a fucking engineer.
I love driving 90 minutes only to sit here for 90 minutes while you figure out how the fuck to record this turd of a show.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
We had technical difficulties.
You know, I can't complain because, again, you're just always so unpredictable. I grabbed a bottle of red wine on the way down here. It's so insufferably fucking hot. I get down here. I open the door. You greet me with a nice hug as always. Armpits coming at me because you wear those muscle shirts. And
I don't shave my armpits, by the way.
Ugh.
I'm not going to do that for you.
Well, I'm not asking for that.
All right, good.
No, that's just weird. I said, God, I wish you drank white wine. Oh, I do. I love white wine. I have some. Would you like some? What? You always drink red. Well, you lead me upstairs, and wouldn't you know it, you had all kinds of chilled wine options from Mexico. I couldn't believe it. And I got to choose the Sauvignon Blanc, Chenin Blanc, La, what is it? La Leve.
Yave.
La Yave Blanca, 2014. It's Valle de Guadalupe from Baja. That's where you go swim with whale sharks.
That's right.
Wow.
They have a whole cool wine, kind of the Paso Robles of Baja up there.
So I can't complain with
Don't
that.
complain.
I got the wine. I got the hummingbirds. The rest of my life is a fucking farce.
We just need an engineer to fucking deal with this. Play engineer, co-host, editor.
What's the last one we did with your band partner? Now, what's
Chevy.
going on? The Color Up is on hiatus?
Little hiatus.
What's going on?
The singer, Chevy's mother, got sick. So
Yeah.
he had to go take care of her. But we'll be back.
Real mama's boy, huh? That's really
He
nice.
loves his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there, I forget, is there anyone else that could have taken care of her?
He was the guy.
Right.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for you, though? Like, he did he basically say, I don't know how long this is going to last?
No, he told me about a month.
A month, okay.
We're
so
almost
it's just
there.
a month. That's nothing.
No, well, it wasn't a big deal.
And you're still checking in with him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
We'll be back soon.
You know the status updates of his life still.
Yeah, I'm in touch.
Yeah.
We're writing songs, and we'll be gigging pretty soon.
Oh, that's good.
I got to ask you a question.
What?
You always have a myriad of complete physical meltdowns.
Why are you asking this?
I have to ask, because I care about you. My armpits care about you. What's up with you? I mean, are you going to live another month?
I hope
Are you
not.
getting headaches?
No. Actually, I was doing really well. And then, I don't know if we talked about this last time, but on a particularly busy week, I had a lot of social events. I woke up and I was super itchy all over my body. And then I started to develop like what I thought were rashes, but it was an all over body breakout. And it was terrifying. I'm like, what the fuck is this now? And it was so itchy and so awful and so uncomfortable. And then the shit blew up in my face. Like I had red bumps like all over me. I thought I had chicken pox,
Wow.
which I had when I was a kid.
swollen and
but
red and
yeah.
pus leaking out.
Well, I don't know about the pus. I thought I had the measles, which I thought I was inoculated against. But, measles is making a big comeback because all these anti-vaxxer fucks don't vaccinate. Now we're all doomed. The plague is coming back. Typhoid's coming back. All kinds of wonderful things. So I'm like, what is going on?
It is coming back. It's not even a sequel. It's actually a prequel. Because it's all been happening before.
Oh,
Yeah, so this is the plague from before.
totally.
It's a total prequel.
Well, I'm already plagued, so now I've got a new plague. So I go to the doctor.
You're a plague man.
And my usual doctor was out of town. This guy was very sweet, but he had no idea what was going on. Like, he could not look at my skin and identify it. So then he brought in another doctor. Now 3 doctors are in the room. Well, it could be this. It could be that. Have you ever had the measles? Have you ever had the chickenpox? Well, how about this? Well, how about that? So they put me on a bunch of things. Nothing helped. And it just got worse and worse and worse. And they said, "Oh God, you got to go see a dermatologist." So I go see the dermatologist, and I know I'm ugly, but I'm a very vain. Did you say I'm not that ugly? Thanks a lot.
No, I said you're not ugly.
And
you're not that ugly.
I'm very vain. So having this shit off my face was priority 1. The good news is I got out of all of those social obligations I told you about.
Well, you hate that anyway.
Yeah.
Great
So-
excuse.
Oh,
I can't come because my face is full of chicken pox.
Oh yeah, I I mean, I had to get out of my acting class that I was taking. I had to get out of a graduation party that I was actually looking forward to just because it's all my friends. And no, I bailed out of everything to take care of this. And after a series of different meds and different thises and different thatses, I was finally put on this sort of like antibacterial drug. Well, in the end, it turned out that I had my body had some sort of spectacular allergic reaction to something.
Oh.
We still don't know what the problem was.
But you took some medication that your body just said, nope.
I mean, I don't know what was going on. No,
Could
the
it be
meds
a
help.
food?
No, the
How about
meds
a food?
help. Well, I don't know. And that's what they would ask, like repeatedly ask me, do you go hiking? No, I don't hike. I don't hike in L.A. I'm not going to hike in L.A. is filthy. The mountains are filthy. I'm not going to hike at Runyon where I got to listen to some fucking yoga pants and a man bun pitch his script idea to his Tinder date. No. So, bottom line is I had 3 years of allergy shots. I had 3-tier sinus surgery, and I am more fucked with allergies than I've ever been. I am the boy in the plastic bubble, and yet I continue to dwell outside.
Your body resists all attempts of help.
Yes.
You're the anti-help.
It's really weird.
Wow.
So it mostly totally cleared up, which was great. But, I was sleeping in a separate room. My wife didn't want to touch me.
You're sequestered.
I was sequestered.
It was
by
you
this
and Malcolm.
It was me and Malcolm, and sometimes Barney Fife would come in.
Oh, Barney.
So now it's funny because it's all died down a little bit, but I still get these little blemishes that pop up that are very uncomfortable. So I had to get a new round of medications that are sprays and ointments, and it comes from a compounding place in Santa Monica. So right before I came here, I was stuck at a compounding pharmacy waiting for this stuff.
Are they making a special compound for you?
They're making a special
like
compound
the Max
for me.
Koch elixir.
Max Koch's compound.
Put this on your face.
Yes.
We just mixed it.
Yes.
It's full of mud and
Yes.
filth and
Yes.
dread,
Yes.
and you'll feel better.
Oh, Jesus. So now I'm dealing with that. Here's even better than that. My eyesight is so bad. I don't know what happened. When I went to the eye doctor...
You're actually wearing glasses.
Well, listen.
You normally wear sunglasses.
I know, but I have a reason for that. So my eye doctor, said, here, I'm going to give you the progressive lenses. This was months ago. Thank God I have an appointment with her next week. The progressive lenses are terrible. So I got these new glasses, and then the contacts are monovision. So I've got one, my right eye is for up close, my left eye is for distance. Those don't work for shit. Then she's looking deeper into mine, and she goes, oh my God, how did this happen? You have a cataract.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, in my right eye.
Holy shit.
Oh, yeah. So I have a cataract in my right eye. I'm like, well, what does that mean? She goes, oh, well, insurance won't cover it until it's 2040.
Until you're blind.
But yours is 2030. Once it gets to 2040, we can... Oh, this is my ring.
Great.
Oh, how weird.
Thanks.
My optometrist is calling.
Right now.
Hold on. I'm going to put her on speaker. Hi there, Burbank Optometric.
Hi there. So yes, this is Amelia calling from Burbank Optometric.
Hi, Amelia.
So I got your message, and unfortunately, due to us being under construction, we just don't have any sample contacts we can give you in the meantime.
Oh, no.
I know.
No
so I just wanted
samples
to
for
call
you.
and let you know, and then yeah, we'll be seeing you next week.
All right. Well, thank you anyway.
Of course. You have a great day.
You too. Bye. Do you see my life?
That was
Do you
unfucking believable.
see my life?
Ladies and gentlemen, that was absolutely not planned.
No.
That was amazing.
Do you believe my life?
There's no fucking samples for you.
And
Is each contact like $1 million?
okay, so I am still telling the thing.
Right.
So she goes, until you're 2040, I need you to go get a blood test to see if you have diabetes.
2040?
I don't have the diabetes. I know I don't have the diabetes. So I go through the blood test for the diabetes. Now, with this skin thing, I had to go through the deepest blood test of my life. They drew 6 files out of me.
Wow.
To figure out what the fuck was wrong. They still couldn't figure it out. And now, as you just heard, I was down to 2 contacts. I open up the left eye, and it's all shriveled up.
Oh, fuck.
Something happened in the little
It just got,
the contact container.
dehydrated or something.
It got dehydrated. So this little tiny crispy fucking fucked contact is what I was facing this morning. Because I have an alert on my phone, change your contacts bi-weekly, because I'm on the 2-weekers with the contacts.
Okay.
So now I had one contact left, which I'm like, all right, well, I'll put this one in my right eye. I'll call them up. I'll get another contact for my left eye, and I'll coast on fumes into next week, and then hopefully we'll get everything taken care of. But you just heard what happened. Now, as far as the glasses, I said to myself, well, until then I can just wear glasses. But I don't know if you've noticed, but the glasses I'm wearing have black electrical tape on one of the arms.
You must be an engineer.
And the reason for that, and these were very expensive glasses, a couple of weeks ago, Barney is curled up, my little Chihuahua pug, Barney Fife, is curled up in a little ball, and I was a little happy, so to speak. So I went over to start making out with him, right before bedtime. So I set the glasses on the floor, started making out with my dog. I stand up, crunch. I totally smashed these.
So you did.
You know how many times I've sat on these or stepped on these or dropped these?
We got to get a picture of that. Put it on the Facebook page. That'll be the picture of the next episode.
So, dude, now I have no contacts.
Broken glasses.
Tied with black electrical tape, and I brought a roll of black electrical tape to reinforce it in case the arm pops out. I tell you what, I can't do it anymore.
That is frustrating. It is agonizing, and it probably only happens to you. Can I also say something? I'm just switching gears.
I'm a good guy.
You are a good guy. You are a good guy.
I'm a generous guy.
You're generous.
I give to charity.
You do, you're charitable.
I'm charitable.
I was actually out once with you, and we got approached by a homeless person.
Yes.
And you gave that homeless person $20.
I did.
I couldn't believe it. That was very generous.
Well, I don't know what it was about her, but she just told a story just in her thing. And it's so funny. She's walking across the street downtown. It's Lorenzo, me, and Brett. We're going to see the Public Image Limited documentary, which is awesome. She's walking across the street. I said, honey, what are you doing in the middle of the street? She goes, I'm crossing the street. I'm like, well, here, have you eaten? And I just threw her a $20 bill.
And the look on her face was shock.
Yeah, well,
she couldn't believe that somebody would do that.
And you know what? It's fine. If she went and spent it on booze, if she went and spent it on drugs, I don't care. As long as she had a night where she didn't have to think about her problems.
But the thing that was really unbelievable, she gave it back to you to buy new contacts. She said, look, buy some contact lenses. You need this more than I do.
And I love how I got to see a new optometrist. I love how my place goes and has construction, so they can't even access the samples. How is that possible?
We have samples, just not for you. We've given all of our samples out to people we like better than you.
And I'm so nice to them.
So you
when
have
I
to
go.
pay for everything that you want.
Oh, God.
You know what I just realized? We had
What?
so much technical difficulty.
Yeah.
I was so wrapped up
Yeah.
in trying to get this recorded that I left the doors open.
Oh, do you need to close the doors?
If you hear cars and planes and birds and stuff, it's because the fucking doors
open. You
open.
might want to do it because well, I guess we don't hear any wind.
Why do you keep talking? I'm going to go close the door.
We don't hear any wind.
No, but I'm going to close the door.
All right,
anyway.
he's
sorry about that.
He's taking off his headphones. He's setting them on the headphone or the mic stand. He's getting up, in a weird little dainty trot. A barefoot dainty. I have to look at his bare feet. I'm wearing little socks, but I got fucking Fred Flintstone over here. That's what I need. So he's closing everything up. Now it's going to be even hotter in here. It doesn't make any difference anyway because it's all a big sweaty shitbox. Not your place, just life.
Okay, I think we're quieter. I don't know. I just realized that.
No, this is better.
Okay.
How you doing, man? You never have these problems. I suffer and I suffer and I suffer, and you just coast through life in a coma.
Well, in my family, in my little bubble, you're like Jesus. You suffer for everybody. So I feel like I've
really
suffered because of how much suffering you do.
Yeah.
I'm sort of pre-suffered.
Yeah.
So not that I have a perfect life, but you suffer for
everybody. Oh, you have
everybody.
a perfect life. I suffer for everybody.
Really do.
Because I take care of everybody.
You are Christ-like in my eyes.
I go to the grocery store so many times. I swear to God, yesterday I love my wife. I was going to kill my wife yesterday. I was going to take her little head and squish it against the thing. So I'm like, honey, I'm going to the store. How is, we like to have, we're starting to have more meatless meals, so I'm trying to get creative with pasta. And so I'm like, do you want this? Do you want that? Do you want this? Text me back. 90 minutes later. Yeah, I also want a Caesar salad. So make sure you get Caesar dressing, and we need more fresh Parmesan. And now, Lorenzo, I was already home by the time she responds to me. I tell you, if it's a work text, she's right on top of it. But me, we'll get to him. I'm like, honey, I've already gone to the store. I've already gotten all the supplies. I've already gotten to this. I've already gotten to that. But what am I going to do? What am I going to do, Lorenzo?
You're going to go back out?
As soon as I'm done here, I'm going to go back on that fucking 405. I'm going to sit there for 8 years. I'm going to get off at Laurel. I'm going to pull into Gelson's only because that's the most convenient market. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to buy the goddamn Parmesan.
And that's love. That's that going back.
What do I get out of it? I'm smart. Not like everybody says. I'm smart and I want respect. That's my Fredo from Godfather Part 2.
That was really good.
Thank you.
But I think your wife is still going to have you killed. So
Fredo, you're nothing to me now. You're not a friend. You're not a brother. I don't want to know you or what you do. When you show up with Caesar salad, I want to know a week in advance so I won't be Mikey.
I think your wife is going to appreciate it. And then after dinner, she'll go back to basically loathing you.
What do you got?
What do I got? I'm doing music. And I'm going to San Francisco on just a 5-day little jaunt.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know, it's terrible.
Just for no reason at all.
For no reason at all.
It's
going to go up there for 5 years and just fuck
days.
around and walk the Golden Gate and sit in Golden Gate Park and go to North Beach and get Italian food.
Hey, what's going on? Are people jumping as like they used to from Golden Gate?
I don't hear it a lot.
I don't either. And
I hear it actually more from L.A. bridges. People are jumping here in L.A. Way more than San Francisco.
I think it's great when people jump off bridges, and there was a documentary.
It thins out the herd, don't you think?
Absolutely. There was a documentary about it where a guy set up a hidden camera. Oh, I wish I remember what it was called. The Bridge, I think, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Off Golden Gate, and you just one after the other over the course of like 2 months.
Wow.
You see the jumps. And he
Do they play
up,
Van Halen's Jump as they're doing it?
Well, you might as well jump.
Right.
Jump. Deal with your problems that way. So they caught up with some of the, jumpers' families. Yeah. That's a very compelling dot, but I don't know if you can find that one anymore because it's so dark and sad. Speaking of dark and sad, I tell you what, I am getting more fed up with social media than ever. So you were right all along. I'm going to give you that because you cannot scroll down without accidentally seeing, animal abuse videos.
Everything.
Like people will post
It's all this shit you really don't want to see.
I'm not warned. So Twitter, I think, is a decent news source. So because it's the most up to date. So I was on Twitter this morning, and wouldn't you know it, there was a clip of an ice raid that broke my fucking heart. Okay, so you see that because one of the things is they're telling people to film this stuff when these agents come into your place, film everything. This guy answered the door. So it's this guy, and he's wearing like a green fluorescent shirt with a logo on the back.
Mm-hmm. Ice kind of thing?
No. This is the guy that they were capturing.
Oh.
Just this sweet little Hispanic dude and his family. They're all crying. They're all blubbering. You can tell he works for like construction, so he's doing his thing. He's working hard. He's being a dad. And these ICE agents start pounding on the door. And the wife films him going outside, and they put their arm around him, and they start to take him away. And he turns around and is screaming back at his family, "I love you. I'm sorry." They're screaming and crying. Why did this guy have to go? I thought we were only going after
criminals and drug
and
dealers,
rapists and murderers and human traffickers.
There's no discerning.
Why are we going after this sweet little man? Leave him in the country to work and support his family.
Because he's just a number on a list. They're not going through everyone's individual story. There's no compassion there. We don't live in very compassionate times as far as at least the government's concerned. So no one gives a shit.
Listen, I know 1 minute we're saying thin the herd, and the next, I'm crying about an ice video. But the truth is, look, that's dark comedy versus reality. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just really sickened and saddened by everything now.
Well, social media doesn't help.
Right.
It has its place, and my opinion. We've had different episodes on it.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I think it actually is frustrating and actually kind of hurtful and boring more than helpful, in my opinion.
No, it's definitely
It's got its
becoming
place if you want to promote yourself, if you're in a band, if you're an
and
artist,
for me, it's
if you have
very
an
fun
event.
and creative to.
It's great for marketing,
Yeah.
but it isn't really a great
But
for
you see what I
social
post. I
happiness.
I post movie reviews, and I post like little weird things that happen to me in real life that I think for me are fun. But boy, I'm just getting tired.
Yeah.
It's starting to wear down
It becomes
my soul.
this slog of, mostly useless information
Yeah.
that kind of just clouds
And then
your
this
brain.
morning, you got old Bob Mueller on the stand, and we're waiting for something big again. And I don't know where these people get their expectations. Nothing happened.
No.
It was the same thing. He kept saying, "Look at the report. Look at the report. Look at the report." There's there's no empathy. There's no well, now I'm back to ice, but nothing's happening. No matter what is going on, this abomination sitting in the White House is going to keep winning, and he's going to stay there, and he's going to be back again. And I got to tell you, not to get too high on my horse, but I ain't turned on by any of the Democrats people.
No, not yet.
None of the people coming out for 2020. I ain't into it.
Yeah.
I ain't into it.
It's got to be somebody that can just, it's funny. It's not just really voting for the Democrat if you are a Democrat. It's just, besides the person, it's just trying to vote for anyone to get rid of him.
Yeah.
So it really isn't about that person being
Yeah.
good. It's like, who's the best person to possibly get rid of him?
Yeah.
So it's more about him still than it is about the Democratic nominee.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a drag.
You
But,
know-
just going back to what you said, though, about, compassion and everything, and that ICE and that, the mood of the country is kind of fucked. To me, and we actually said this in future discussions, or future. We
discussions?
said this in future discussions.
Wow, you
in
have
my
a
head.
third eye happening.
Yeah, I guess my third eye has opened up. I think all it can really do, at least the way I look at it, is that it's going on. You see how fucked things are. The best retaliation to do is just in your own little bubble, be the best person you can.
Yeah.
Just be as nice and compassionate as you can
Yeah.
to counterbalance what's
Yeah.
going on. That's all you can really do in your own little world
That's
and
what
all
I'm
of our
trying
little
to do,
bubbles.
man.
Just be a nice person.
I'm trying.
And I think there's going to be a domino effect. So if you see a homeless person, don't judge them. Help them out. And if you need contacts, just buy them. And just help your fellow person as much as you can. And I think that just helps the world.
I do
So,
appreciate though when someone, even if I don't fucking know them, but if someone on Facebook decides for my birthday they're going to raise certain money for charity, I always thought that was a nice little additive.
Yeah.
And it was only, I think, in the past couple of years, it seems, with Facebook. But like last year, I did it I don't think I'm going to do it this year because I'm just going to give people a break. Plus, I've been giving to charity this year, and I need to kind of calm down a little bit because it gets a little much. But I see something and I do have a very emotional knee-jerk reaction. So call me a snowflake all you want, but I don't want to just react and get upset. I want to find out the backstory as to why these things are happening.
But that's being a mature adult.
Right. That's why I'm trying to do that more. But last year I raised $2,000
Wow.
for Road Dogs, which was the organization. Nikki Dogfather, she's the gal I got Mickey and Malcolm from. So that was really great. And again, I didn't just ask for fucking money. Hey, help me out. Help these dogs out. That's what people do. No one gets creative. I made videos. I brought in my own. This is a road dog. This is Malcolm. I adopted him. Here's old footage of Mickey. And those videos, that's the shit that was making people go into their pockets.
Right.
Just watch this video and be outraged. Okay, now I'm outraged.
Now
Why
what?
did I watch that? Now what?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah. You can't do anything.
That's stupid.
It just actually makes you more angry. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what's going on anyway, so now it's just, this is what's going on, and it's in your face.
Yeah.
Just be angry, and
Yeah.
now you're basically, Howard Beale in Network, and you're going to go to your window and say, I'm as mad as hell.
That's a good
and I'm not going
reference.
to take it anymore.
That's
And we're
perfect.
back to that now.
Yeah.
So how much has society actually changed?
Yeah, boy. So I got to make some real changes, and it's funny, I have this deadline I've set for myself with my horror project. I want it out there by the end of October, and we are working in overtime right now. We got,
But it's coming great, right?
yeah. No, I just
And you just asked me to be a bloody
Yes,
victim in it.
you're gonna
I'm
be a
going to
bloody
be a
victim.
bloody victim,
we're gonna see Lorenzo act.
and we're going to say the title, right?
Sure, Red Leaf
Red
Complex.
Leaf
I've talked
Complex.
about it before.
Yeah. So Red Leaf Complex is this amazing web series. It's going to be 12
we don't know
parts.
if it's amazing yet.
You know what? I know you and I know Brett. It's going to be amazing. I have faith.
It's roughly 14, but here's the exciting
14.
thing.
All right. Well, I'm proud that I'm
some of
going to
them
be
are
a bloody,
bit longer and shorter than
dying
Oh, you're going to be great.
mutant in it.
So, boy, this Spanish wine, man, it keeps making
Giving
me...
a gas, dude.
I don't burp when I drink wine. Excuse me, audience. I'm sorry. What was I talking about?
You're talking about Red Leaf Complex.
Yeah, so I just turned in my our first fully edited episode. Well, I'm doing the editing. To Brett yesterday for scoring because there's a lot of music involved in this episode.
He's got a big job ahead of him.
So we wanted to make sure that he had this one now.
Nice.
It felt so good to get that fucker in Dropbox.
Right.
It was like the first true
And you're letting it go. It's done.
sign of...
You're not
well,
gonna-
he's got to add the score.
No, but you're not going to tweak it and re-edit it.
I'm going to tweak and edit until the very end.
Really? Oh, okay.
Every episode. It's mostly done, but I'm going to find something. Like once it gets to the point, probably in September, early October, where we're looking at everything again. We don't need that. Let's get rid of this. Let's trim this up a bit. This is a little indulgent, but I tell you what, Lorenzo, the best thing about this project, the best thing about it is no one is saying no. Except Chevy, but he had a good excuse. He had to work.
Oh, well, he didn't say no. He just had to work.
Right.
He wants to do it. He wanted to be another bloody victim.
And there was
but he can't.
one actress who I wrote this script and I sent it to her and she flipped out. I probably talked about this, but she kind of flipped out and said, "This is too close to home. This is exactly what's going on with me and my mother right now. This is that." Fair enough. We'll work with her again down the road. Blessing in disguise because my friend Sherry Strahl stepped into the role and destroyed it. She was so magnificent.
Great.
So I'm starting to get really excited about it.
You should be.
It's very homemade, but I think for some reason, I think that it's going to really be cool. I think people are going to especially people in my universe, all of my friends, I think it's going to be like, whoa, I didn't see this coming.
Well, also, it's also hard to get perspective when you're in something because you're in it. So, but like anything, whether it's a band putting out a CD or
Right.
you even go to see
Right.
a concert of me or a
Yeah,
friend,
right.
you as the creator of something,
Yeah.
you invite your friends. You don't know if they're going to like it,
Yeah.
and they might not, and that's the risk.
Right.
But you got to do it. So you throw it out there, and you hope that people are going to generally say, "This is fucking great."
Yeah. So
They
I'm
might
not gonna lock down that it's gonna come out in October. But
No, you shouldn't.
That's the goal.
Because it's a big project.
Yeah, it's huge.
Well, that's cool.
But here's what I want to talk about. Are you kidding? I went to Vegas a couple weeks ago, not by choice, because Nicole had her human resources convention out there. And
So it's you loose in Vegas while she is
Yeah.
at HR getting inundated by HR rules.
And let me tell you something. The first thing we did when we drove in was go to Mad Men, which is
Medmen.
correct.
Yes.
Sorry, which is
Get some edibles?
Yes. So they it's a whole different deal in Nevada.
Why?
Well, I don't know if it's like that everywhere.
They have it here.
Well, I know, but here you can go in, grab a bag of gummies, and leave. Out there at the MedMen there, this was even before.
Is there a strip club attached to it?
Into our
or-
room? I wish.
Yeah.
No, but you're basically doing all the shopping on the floor, but there's nothing tangible. So you have to basically place your order with a weed wrista. I don't know. What
weed wrister?
A weed wrist. I'm trying to mix weed and barista.
Like a sommelier?
Yeah.
A weed lier?
Yeah, you place your order through her because you really can't tell. You're looking at pictures of the can of gummies.
Right.
You're not getting a description. You're just.
It's like going to a sushi restaurant and
Yeah.
you're ordering from the pictures of
Yeah.
sushi.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're ordering from the pictures of weed or
Yeah.
pictures of edibles.
pictures of edibles
Right.
inside.
I
a
want number
can.
N12,
Yeah.
R16, and 2.
Right. So she stands right there, punches up your shit, and then says, "Okay, go over here and wait in line." I'm like, "Okay, number 555." And you come up and you get your stuff. So I was like, "Okay, but I don't even know if these are going to be any good.
It sounds like they could actually just do it with vending machines,
I
actually.
know they really should.
Yeah.
They really should, man. So, but that was very interesting. So we
Okay.
had the gummies, but dude, you know me. I mean, I know you with your Airbnb, but me with my hotel situation, it's got to be nice. We stayed in such a dump.
Well, you always rag Airbnbs. If you stayed in a dump, you realize that your every single sheet and pillowcase is just littered with semen and bugs. You know that, right?
Yeah, thanks. But the point is,
Well, you rag on the other.
We brought our dogs.
You're blind to the fact that you're swimming.
yeah.
In
Okay, so
filth.
how many Airbnbs allow 2 dogs?
Some.
Uh-huh.
Not a lot.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we brought our dogs
Okay.
because that's who we are.
All right. So it was a dog trip too.
It was a dog trip as well,
All
even though it was 120 degrees outside, which sucked. But boy, oh boy, man, I tell you, we walked into this. It was like sweets, you know, and I like that, you know, especially like. But I'm like, how didn't you show me this website? And I go, oh yeah, I showed this to you. I said, but it looks so much better on the website. Like big, beautiful pools. Most of them were drained, right? And then I walked in, and usually if I walk into a hotel room, I don't smell anything. I walked into this place, and there was a must. It smelled corpsey, not corpsey.
Corpsey. Instead of a Motel 6, was it like a Motel 4?
It was called the Aztec Palms or something. So I'm like,
Palms.
it's musty. It's also stuffy in here. All right, I'm going to go over to the thermostat. What was that? I'm going to go over to the thermostat. Spanish wine. Mexican wine. That's the same thing, right?
No.
No, I didn't think so.
Spanish wine is from Spain.
Spain, correct. So I go over to the thermostat. All right, I'm going to turn this down to 65. It's getting hotter in the room. I don't understand.
Completely backwards.
Dude, they lock down at 74. They don't allow you.
74.
You may
That's really
feel
hot.
like you're hitting that thermostat to go down. You're not.
Wow.
They stick it. So I call the front desk. I'm like, what is going on with this air conditioning? Oh, yeah, we lock it at 74. Well, then why do you allow me to poke it down to 68? Because we love to fuck with you. Huh? What? I was so upset. So then I decided, fuck it, I'll just take a gummy. So basically, the days when Nicole was out, you know, at the HR thing, plus I'm driving her to the HR thing when she wasn't Ubering, so I can't get too messed up because I got to drive.
Right.
So my days were spent what I thought was going to be reading and editing and hanging out in the cool air.
You are her Uber, because then when she's ready to get picked
Dude,
up.
I'm sitting there like a driver. I'm sitting there waiting. Oh, and here's another thing. Maid service, terrible. I don't expect you to change my fucking sheets, but just bring me some fresh towels and maybe take out the trash. That's all I ask, and I'll give you a nice fat tip at the end. Dude, I did all of my own housekeeping. The maids wouldn't come, and I kept seeing them at the end of the hallway, and I can't leave the dogs with the maids cleaning up.
Right.
I've got to take the dogs, and what am I going to do? Take them outside in 120-degree weather? So I just sat there all 4 days inside this thing and did nothing. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't focus enough or relax enough. I just sat and waited for Nicole to call to go pick her up. It was terrible.
It was a nightmare.
A nightmare. It was a nightmare.
It was all about leaving Las Vegas, actually.
But I'll tell you what, 2 high points.
Besides the gummy bear. Hi.
Yes. We, so several years ago, I was at a yard sale. I don't go to them anymore. But I always like to look at the box of DVDs that people are putting out for yard sales because you never know what you're going to... You find some real treasures.
Oh, absolutely.
So I went in. It's like, 50 cents for DVDs. Okay, so I'm looking. I pull out Carrot Top Live.
Oh.
And I'm like, I've always been intrigued by Carrot Top.
He's great.
But I don't know if I've ever actually seen the dude.
It's performance art is what it is.
Right. Well, I didn't know. So and it all ties into you, remember?
Sort of.
So I'm like, holy fuck. Let me buy this. Well, that was years ago. Then I forgot all about it. So I say to Nicole, hey, remember that Carrot Top DVD? Or she says to me, remember that Carrot Top DVD you bought? We should put that on since I just got us 2 tickets to Carrot Top. Let's do it. Dude, the DVD was horrendous. However, the live show, he's at the Luxor. He's been there for 16 years.
Long time. Yeah.
The live show, I swear to God, 40 minutes in, I almost left because if I didn't stop laughing, I was going to die.
It was that funny.
I swear to God, this dude is not... I know he's a prop guy, and the props are very funny and goofy and all that. But he came out on stage. He does this show so many times, dude. He comes out on stage. I thought he was on pills. Like, I thought he was heavily medicated.
Well, he might be on roids because he got into bodybuilding.
Well, I looked at his body.
He's ripped.
He is. I follow him on all social media platforms, especially his Instagram. He's shirtless all the time. I once wrote, "Carrot, shouldn't you be wearing sunscreen?" He's very ripped and weird, but no, he came out with his eyes closed as if he was sleepwalking, and for 2 hours, dude, he destroyed us.
Wow.
We were laughing so hard because it's not just about the props. He has this stream of consciousness thing going where he's basically bashing his own show.
Okay.
Why did I say that? Why did I do that? Oh, what? Wait, I shouldn't have brought that up.
So he's self-effacing.
Self-effacing, telling stories from the past. There was a great little clip show behind him. I fell in love with Carrot Top that night, dude. And it's so funny. I said to Nicole, we got to get, if there's a new DVD, we got to get it. And it was the same goddamn DVD at his merch counter that I bought like in the 90s.
Right.
You know? And the show was from the 90s. I'm like, Carrot, you need to update your shit. But so that was a lot of fun. He was magnificent. I'm a big Carrot Top fan now. If I tell people about Carrot Top, they don't want to hear it.
Right. Because a lot of people think he's really cheesy.
But he is cheesy, but boy. Oh, and then it tied into you. So then I find out that you have a piece of music in the only film he ever starred in called Chairman of the Board.
That's right. I do.
And I was like, we got to watch that. And you're like, I've seen it.
Yeah. I went to, not the premiere, but when it came out in the theater.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went to the theater to see it, and there were 5 people in there.
Oh.
And the only reason why we stayed was actually for the credits. We wanted to see our name in the credits. So everybody stayed for the credits because I realized everybody in the theater was only there because they had something to do with the movie.
What was the band?
Because the movie wasn't really great.
You had a name?
Although Raquel Welch is in the movie. She looks pretty hot. But the movie was kind of dumb.
So, what was the name of the band for the music?
I was in a band called Brazil 2001.
Brazil 2001.
And at the end credits, we have a song called Tahiti 96.
How cool is that?
And you'll see Tahiti 96 by us.
Oh, yeah. So I'm definitely making it a top priority to rent Chairman of the Board now.
It's okay.
Since I'm so high on Carrot.
It's kind of weird.
And then we saw Absinthe.
Which
was fantastic.
Is it a show?
It's a Cirque-like show.
Oh.
But you know what absinthe is, right?
I know what the drink is. Yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
So it's the Green Devil. You can drink absinthe there. And then it's a very dark and raunchy, fucked up, dirty, filthy show. And the MC was fantastic. He was like a guy talking like this. All right, fuck it. And I swear to God, it was so weird in this day and age to have him say things like, all right, let's bring the black dude up because God knows, because like these 2 black guys came in kind of late. Oh, 2 guys are late. Oh, guess what? They're black. Big surprise. Get your asses in here.
So it's not PC at all.
No,
obviously.
It was really funny. And all right, let's bring the Chinese chick up, and she should be smart, and the black guy will come up, and don't be late. It was like, oh my God, stop saying like. I know I can be very abrasive.
But it's making fun of that.
It's making fun of that.
Yeah, showing how stupid
and
it is to be
the audience
so
members,
stereotypical.
The Chinese gal and the black fella, they loved it. They were eating it up. They thought it was so funny, which it makes, you're like, okay, I don't feel so guilty laughing. But, boy, that was a good time. But here's the highlight. Well, I would say the best part of the trip. Having breakfast with your father.
What?
And your stepmom.
My parents were part of your fun? That's unbelievable.
Not only that, I made it. They were they were a little inflexible because they had some stuff to deal with, but they were perfect once we were able to lock down a breakfast.
Did you have a nice convo?
Oh, I was with them for 2 hours, and your father, I tell you what, your dad, Victor, is so spectacular because
he's a great dude.
The dude walks in, he's so happy. He's wearing an Acapulco shirt and white pants, and they were crisp, clean, white shorts. And old people, I get very nervous. Old people shouldn't be wearing white. For obvious
My dad
reasons.
pulls it off.
Dude, I'm like, he ain't. It don't look like he's diapered up. So if he has an accident or anything, I think he's wearing drawers under there, if not a Speedo.
I have no idea.
Sits down. Brings blueprints to show me the compound that they're building.
Yeah, they're building a house.
And we just had the best time.
That's great.
And Sheila, your stepmom was great, and she's so funny. And
she is. And
I was really moved by her because, she's kind of the last of all of her siblings have passed.
She's one of 7, and there's only 2 left now.
2 left, yeah, right. Who's the other one?
The funny thing, it's her sister Lori.
Lori, right.
So Lori's alive, and Sheila's alive.
Okay, right.
Everyone else is gone. So Sheila's the youngest.
But Sheila, I mean, she's really, she sees right through you.
She does.
Like she's looking at me. I'm like,
which sometimes isn't so fun.
yeah, you get a little nervous. You get
Yeah,
a
it's
little
like,
nervous.
really? Do you just be present, Sheila?
Yeah. No, she's looking right at me. But I was very moved by the fact that they go to a Ronald McDonald House to hold premature babies.
They do. They hold babies that need to be held because the mother is, sometimes on drugs, or
Right.
the mother is absent, and babies, need to be held,
Yeah.
or they get, literally it changes your brain chemistry and even your brain neurons. So a lot of studies on that,
Yeah.
where the human baby needs touch.
Yeah.
And sometimes the mother isn't there. So Sheila and my dad are like surrogate humans
that crazy?
to hold these babies.
I had no idea.
Yeah. They just started doing that.
I would do that with puppies, but I don't really want to hold.
You would
premature
rather hold a
babies.
puppy than a human. I know you.
But I was really blown away by that. I'm like, you do? You hold babies? Preemies? You sing? Because, those Silverman girls and boys, they always love singing
They're singers.
in the family. Yeah.
Sheila's a great singer.
Oh, yeah. So it was just.
Almost went pro once.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. I was so good to see them because, out here in L.A., man, I got no family. I got you, but not like old people. I don't have any old people.
No.
Family. My grandma's 90 and she's out in the desert and I
Right.
don't ever see them and they're Trumpies. But seeing Sheila and Victor, like, oh my God, this is family.
Yeah, you haven't seen them and connected in a long time.
No, so we really, really had a good time and I just was so happy seeing them.
That's great.
So
That's great.
But I do understand your thing about, you come into town, you stay 3 nights and you're out.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
enough.
much. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, family just has to understand that.
Yeah.
On our last night, we actually went and saw cousin Christine, who's on Nicole's side of the family.
Okay. And I've met her, and she's great.
She's the fucking best. So what's great about her is she was married years ago to Nicole's cousin Lee. Well, they got a divorce. So you would think that we would lose her in the marriage. We lost Lee. Fuck Lee.
Fuck Lee.
We want to hang out with Chris and party with
Absolutely.
Chris. So she's still our cousin and she's still out there. Dude, morning, noon, and night, all we did was hide in the house with the dogs. They have 2 dogs. I brought my 2 dogs. Nicole worked on the laptop. And Chris and I drank and watched horror movies all day long.
Well, that is your dream.
That's my
That's
dream.
my dream every day.
Yeah, dude.
Forget Vegas.
And we ended on Rosemary's Baby because
Wow, that's a great way to
Christine
end.
hadn't seen it in so long.
That's
And
great.
I tell you what, I know I've spoken about it before on this show, but it is, I think, without sounding too over the top, I think it's one of the very greatest films ever made. I think it's a masterpiece.
What girl, probably maybe unconsciously, doesn't want to fuck the devil? I think it might be basically a lot of women's fantasy.
I love that.
Yeah.
So that was, that's what's been going on, man.
That I don't know if I have much more to add, dude. That sounds like a 70-30
Yeah.
Vegas trip.
Oh, and
70 pain in the ass, but 30% was really good.
And I tried the KFC Cheeto sandwich.
What'd you think?
Well, I got to be
Mr. Chester?
Chester as Colonel Sanders.
I know.
So I got
Congratulations
to be 2
on
icons
that.
in one. But
That is a big deal in the icon world,
Yeah.
in the world of not mascots. What I'm talking about, like not icons. What's the word I want?
well,
Spokespeople.
they are iconic mascots.
They are.
Yeah.
So you combine both, which
Yeah.
I think is a first, isn't it?
I don't know.
Well,
I'd have to investigate.
They couldn't
but-
have picked a better dude to do it, and congrats on you, and I hope it leads to other great things.
Well, I think all of this marketing is so great. Like I'm so blown away by the marketing firms I get to work with because they're
Great.
so smart and they come up with the craziest, most not thought provoking. Well, yeah, kind of thought provoking,
But just creative
stuff. And that sandwich is no different than if a chef put that sandwich out in his restaurant, it would be a super huge.
Is it pretty cheesy though? Is it Cheetos on top of a chicken fillet?
Underneath?
Underneath.
Correct.
So it's crunchy.
The crunch was the best part.
Really?
Yeah. And it's got that's called like the Cheetos sauce in there. But it's
Oh.
so funny. Like if you go to YouTube and you look at the comments, people are seemingly scared, but I think this thing's been great because I don't want to eat that, and they go and they eat 9 of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's bold and flavorful and different. So yeah, that was a highlight. Actually, going to the KFC in Burbank on a Saturday afternoon, Nicole and I, and there's this big Chester cutout, dressed like the Colonel Sanders.
Sure.
And that was a lot of fun.
That's great.
And the wedges were good.
And of course, no one knows who you are in there, so.
Yeah, life is very surreal right now.
The life is unbelievably surreal. Dude, just fucking get some contacts.
Oh, and one more thing I want
Yeah.
to say before we leave.
Right.
Go to Netflix, type in The Epic Tales of Captain Underpants, and go look at, there's a new season that just hit on Friday, this past Friday, and go to episode 11. I'm the main villain in that episode. I'm a character called Laser Lightmare, and then I play 2 hillbillies named Billy. So go check that out. That was such a fun job, and I was a little nervous with how it was going to turn out, and it turned out great.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so go check that out.
Will do. Captain Underpants.
Captain Underpants.
Final thoughts.
I'm going to have more of this wine and then hit the road. That didn't come out right.
Thanks for coming, dude.
Hey, thanks, brother.
Hopefully we'll have less technical difficulties next time.
Yeah, and
Sorry about that.
we'll talk guests afterward because I have a couple options.
And I have
Wanna
I
bring
have a request for a guest that you've mentioned before, but I'm not going to say it right now.
Okay.
We'll see if that person can happen.
Cool.
Everybody, thanks for listening. See you next time.
Cheers.